Oh, we're so fancy.
Upgraded.
Let me upgrade you. What is up, guys? We hope you are having an incredible week. Welcome back to another episode of Secrets of a Church Girl. Thanks for jumping on today. If everything is going well, you are watching this on YouTube. Possibly the video's out. Last week we had some technical difficulties, but it's all good.
Not relive that, please.
But hey, we're learning, right?
Yes.
Yes, and spending money.
I was going to say that and spending money.
Yeah, but here we are. I think we have the setup down. Billy's been really patient with us because he's just been here troubleshooting every week for us. But yeah, so we're super pumped to be back with another week of secrets. I can't believe we made it.
I know.
Episode, what, 5?
I don't know, but it feels like so much, like so long since we recorded. I mean, it technically is because it's Friday today. We never record on Friday.
We normally record on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, here we are. We're excited to come back at another week. If I sound funny, it's probably lingering. I don't have COVID. I don't have the flu. I don't have anything like that. I went and got tested. I was telling Sam that I have such bad allergies, and when I sound like this, she's like, do you ever sound like that when you have allergies? I'm like, yes, I get 10 times worse than this.
I mean, I don't know because I
Sometimes.
don't have allergies.
Yeah, I was telling her that sometimes, literally, like growing up in school, when they would do, you don't just get them, I don't think. I don't know.
I hope not.
In school, when they would do the like reseeding and they would like pull all the grass out and like do all this stuff, that I would literally have to stay inside for recess and for PE, and I wasn't allowed to do anything because my allergies would get so bad. But yeah, so if you're listening,
Can't relate.
that's why your girl sounds like this. Anyway, yeah, we're just gonna jump in with our peaks and pits of the week. Shmammy, what you got?
My peak and my pit are the same thing.
Oh, a curveball.
My peak is that I started work, and my pit is that I started work.
Stop. Oh my gosh.
Trust. Just, I'm not going to say what it is, where
But you have
I
good
work.
coworkers.
So far, yes. It's been 4 days. I worked 4 days. Everybody's been
Nice.
nice.
Which is normally
Is
how
it?
it starts.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying so far.
Yeah.
But
But your managers, that's what really counts.
yeah, manager's good. It's just my body is struggling.
Tired.
Yeah.
Because you haven't worked in how long?
I haven't worked since October 2020.
Yeah.
And then I've been unemployed on unemployment like from October to January.
Yeah.
And then we moved here and it stopped when we moved here. And
I remember.
I was like, wow, what a perfect time to stop my unemployment. They're like, okay. Well, actually, no, I've been on unemployment
Before that, because
that. Then I stopped and I started working during like the pandemic.
Because we were working opened again.
Mm-hmm.
And then they closed.
No,
again.
no, then I quit.
Oh, right.
Because it was a really bad work environment.
Uh-huh.
Then I got back on unemployment.
Uh-huh.
So it was almost a year that I was on unemployment, a few months.
So you were on and off. Even when you worked in October, it was like, what, 2 months?
Yeah.
I haven't worked in a long time. I haven't worked since last April.
Oh my God.
Because when I started IVF, I went on leave, and at first the plan was to go back after I got pregnant. But then even if I was going to go back then, which was like August, the goal was like to be pregnant by August or September. We were going to leave in January.
So it doesn't make
So
sense.
I was going to be back at my job for 3 months, and then my boss was going to have to find someone else and replace me and like all this stuff. The reason I had to go on leave was because my appointments were literally like 4 days a week, and they were about 40 minutes from my job. Mm-hmm. So if I was leaving 4 days a week for like 3 hours a day, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it
so
doesn't
it was
make sense.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense. So where I worked before when I was in California, incredible place. My boss, my coworkers were all like a dream, dude. So I was so sad when I wasn't going back. I was like, but I still talk to all my coworkers, and everybody's like really sweet. But yeah, I haven't worked in so long.
The only coworkers I still talk to are from when I was working in Sydney. That's it. I don't talk to any other coworkers.
It takes a lot to still talk to like people you worked with only.
Yeah.
But everybody that I worked with knew like we were going into IVF. They knew about Billy and I. It was a smaller office, and so we had lunch together like every single day. Like it was just
Wow. Cannot relate.
If you're listening,
now.
babies, I miss you. Oh yeah. So
I'm just trying to readjust, and that's why it's a pit, because my body is like in pain from standing for so long. But anyways.
It's probably a little bit of a workout too.
No, it's not.
I think so.
No, it's not.
It has to be. Steps, all the steps.
No,
standing?
it's just standing.
Oh, yeah.
There's like 2 steps maybe back and forth, and that's it.
Well, hey, that's why it's a peak and a fit. You're getting your coin too.
Yeah.
At the same time. Pit is that I feel and sound like this. It's so great. And then my peak. What is my peak this week? Oh my gosh. We're going. I don't even think Billy knows this. We're going to pick up these 2 little rocking chairs that we just bought.
Oh, okay.
That are. We found them on I found them on the marketplace, Facebook.
You find so much stuff
Dude,
on there.
$60 for 2 velvet blush pink, like little rocking chairs. How cute.
Where are they gonna go?
I don't know yet. I don't know yet. I was thinking either at the record place, like sitting by the record thing, and then taking the yellow chair somewhere else, because we have this like mustard yellow chair, or one in like Atlas's room, one somewhere else. They're
You should
so
see
cute.
his face. Right?
Get out of here. Tell me how much your switcher was, dude. I'm just kidding. Yeah, so I love finding cheap furniture. It makes me so happy.
I really thought you were gonna say your peak was about your nails.
Oh yeah, I guess I could tell that story too.
You can show them too. She did them.
I've started doing my own nails not since we moved here, just these last 2 times that I've had to do them.
I don't understand how.
So for the girls listening, I've started to do SNS. That's a dip.
Yeah.
So it makes it way easier than having to do acrylic, because when you do acrylic, you have to like mix it and like pack it on yourself. When you do SNS, you literally just put like a top, like if you're doing a top coat on your nails and dip it in powder,
yeah.
and then dust it off and do that to all the nails. And then after, you just buff it, but it's like so minimal what you have to buff because it's going on evenly.
Wait, are those your actual nails?
No. So what's left is an artificial tip, and then the SNS over it. But my nails are getting long underneath. My goal is to get them so that it's just my nails underneath. But yeah, so I filled them and then I polished them. My first polish job was not A1, the red ones.
Okay.
And I was just trying to figure out.
They looked good from far.
They were 20 yarders.
I didn't look at them close. I only saw them when you were playing the piano.
Oh yeah.
And that was it.
They're 20 yarders, so like they look good from 20 yards away. And then I was like, I got like the colors that I wanted to get for spring and like all that stuff. So then I was like,
oh my god, it's
spring colors. Even though it's like barely spring here.
I mean, the weather's been feeling like it.
So yeah, I had fun. It feels good. I like it.
They look really, I'm shocked.
Thank you, pal. Well, I think too, like having the baby soon, I'm probably, or the nail salon we like to go to is like 45 minutes away, 30 to 45 minutes away. And by the time you go there, get your nails done and come back, it's like a 3-hour excursion if all you do is a fill.
I remember when you guys went.
Yeah, it's like 3 or 4 hours. So by that time, I'm like, how am I going to get away from a newborn and do this? So I kind of wanted to practice and figure out if I could do it. If not, I just needed to know if I need to retire the nails overall and just wait until the next available
Could you
opening.
actually do that?
I don't know. Probably not. Probably not.
I didn't want to like bring you down and say probably not for you, but
I know. I'm such a nail person, so we'll see. I who knows, dude? I hear everything changes when you have a child.
Yeah.
So I also have gel polish, so I can paint my nails if I need to. Like,
yeah, you're such a nail person. I don't even.
I have a bunch of random nails.
Nails are so bad right now. It's because I do them and then I'm doing stuff that makes them like.
But you do regular polish, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, you can buy a gel top coat for less than $10 and a light for less than $10 now, and put the top coat over your regular polish after it dries, and your nail polish will last you as long as gel does. So to me, I'm like, it's so easy to make it, but some people just don't care about it. Like, it's not a big deal to them.
Yeah, that's
so I'm like, ooh, it looks so cute.
Yeah, I'm like, ooh, I didn't get it out of my skin, so
good job, I won. The next day it's gone.
Yeah. I pick it off in the shower too.
There's been so many times where I've like tried to commit to doing my own nails and then I end up going back. But now that I feel like there's literally not a salon here, well, there is, but
it's everything's kind of.
I'm really picky. So I just feel like now that there's no other option, I might stick it out. Well, I guess we'll follow up in 5 weeks when my child's born. You'll see how my nails look.
Oh my god, 5 weeks.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I'll be 35 weeks in like a few days.
I'm shocked that it's already March 12th.
I know. I'm a little scared now. I'm like, oh.
I'm scared too.
Because 4 weeks from next week. So, I know it's a little crazy. I have an appointment next Friday to have her get measured. And so they're going to tell me, like, what size she is, if she's, you know, they want to talk about induction, like, if I have to induce. They don't really force anything on you, but if she is getting, like, really big, they will schedule an induction date for you. And you can push it back or cancel it if you want. But just in case you want to, they like, make it available for you.
Well.
Yeah. So it's a little nerve-wracking.
That's so close. I didn't even realize.
Yeah, it's, like, real. It's here. It's definitely here. Like, it could happen at this point, like, at any time. So we shall see.
Oh my God.
But in other news, I was just telling you that I have been, yesterday I not regrettably, but did end up like literally watching, I don't know, 4 hours of YouTube because I was just resting out. I'm being told to just rest. So I ended up watching Emma Chamberlain for way too long.
Was that when you were upstairs?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I did not hear that it was her, but I heard you watching something and I was like, what's she watching?
Okay, I felt so bad watching TV in the room right next to you because I'm like, these videos are so dumb that I'm watching.
I thought you could hear what I was watching.
I could not hear anything. I couldn't hear anything. And then the TV is so far from me and it's close to it's like on the wall, so I feel like the sound is. And I was like, oh my God, I feel so bad. She could probably hear like all these dumb mukbangs.
No, I literally thought you could hear my TV. I was watching like BTS stuff and I was like, oh my God, she's gonna.
No, I couldn't hear any of it. I would have told you though.
Well, because I shut my door and I could faintly hear what you were listening to, but barely hear what you were listening to.
I can't shut the door. It was like kept going, squeak, squeak.
I just like.
I know your door when it comes out, dude. It literally sounds like a sticker being ripped off of something.
I know.
Anyway, yeah. So I was watching her yesterday, and we were talking about how she just started a podcast again.
I don't know if she has a lot of episodes up, but she had a different one than what she has now.
So she had one and restarted.
I don't know what the other one was called. It was so random.
But she had like a co-host with her, huh?
Yeah. She started this podcast in February of last year.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
She's been doing it for like a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know she had one before, and then she started one again. I was telling Sam that, and she just told me also, but I was telling Sam, like, I was watching her videos, and I was like, dude, this is so self-deprecating. What the heck? And I don't think I didn't watch, like, in chronological order. It was just on my, like, recommended homepage. So I watched, like, 2 or 3 videos, and I was like, geez, woman. Because I was like, this is so intense. Like, not intense. It's funny. Like, it's comical. Like, her humor's funny. Until you realize, like, there's an actual human being behind this when the screen goes off. So, like, is this just your personality? Is this like you're just your humor, but you don't really think this about yourself? Or, like, what? And I was like, dang, dude, this is really intense. And then you were telling me that she had a whole episode dedicated to, like, her talking about like self-deprecation and stuff.
Yeah, I listened to it. I listened to it because I was like, oh, I feel like I read the description and I was like, oh, I feel like I could relate to this, or like I felt how the description, like what it was saying. I felt like that week that I listened, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna listen to this, and it's actually like really good. Like she was talking about how she knows she's self-deprecating, but she doesn't want to be, and like I know that watching her videos is probably like, oh my God, like, why are you saying all this about yourself?
I was like, she's so cute. What is she saying?
But then on her podcast, I feel like she's way different. I can't watch her YouTube videos. I don't watch her YouTube videos.
That's what I was wondering. I was wondering, is this just like part of the brand now? So she kind of has to keep this up? Or is this like her personality? Or is it just like humor that she knows will work in her videos? So like, because when we listened to a chunk of her podcast before, it was like really good.
Yeah,
it was really good. And I was like, whoa, she sounds so intelligent, dude. And then in the videos, it was like, I'm a dog. I just want to eat, like, serve me dog food. That's all I'm worthy. And I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah, she I think she even says it too, that in her podcast is like a space where she can actually she literally sits down in her closet and records her podcast at home.
I love that.
So like she said that it's just like a space for her to be like more open, more honest.
Yeah.
Compared
it's not
to
entertainment.
Like, yeah. Like compared to her channel. And she gives a lot of advice on her podcasts, but she says too, she's like, I give great advice, but I can never take my own advice.
Oh my gosh. I think that's just a whole generational problem. Or
100%.
maybe just like age.
I mean, I feel like I give good advice to my friends, and then
You do give good advice.
and then in one ear out the other.
Yeah, I feel like it's an age thing too, because then I think there comes a point where like you have no choice but to, like, it comes to head where like you have no choice but to listen to new advice.
Yeah.
Or else you're gonna be stuck.
Yeah.
You know? Because I feel like that's how I felt too. Like I was like so good at giving advice for years. And then I was like actually needing, like I was in a situation where I needed to do something.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, I guess I should probably apply all these last 10 years of do this, do that, you know? Yeah, but when I did listen to that other part of her podcast, that one part of her podcast that we were listening to together, I thought it was so good. I was like,
you were shocked? Me
yeah,
too.
I was super
too.
shocked.
The first time I heard, I don't even know why I wanted to listen to her podcast. I just like remembered she had one, but I went and searched for the one I thought it was and found that it was a different one. And then I like kind of scrolled through to see, because her titles are so short and they're just like talking about nothing for an hour. Or
yeah, well, when you have like 20 million people following you, you can label it whatever, and anybody's gonna listen to anything.
Or why I moved to LA for reels, or like stuff like that. So it's just like, I don't know. I guess it was just like simple and appealing. So I was just like, listen. Yeah. And then I found out, I was like, oh my God, she has really good advice.
Yeah. Which I was so shocked, because I feel like there was a wave because I feel like her sense or her style of editing video content, that was brand new. And she was the first to like out the gate with her style. Like, you know, like all the zoom ins and like jump cuts and like all that stuff like that. I feel like that was very much her, but also her humor. So then I feel like when she started taking off, it was a trend to be self-deprecating. Like it was funny. It was a personality trait. And it started to be like, well, that's the only way. Like I had friends or people I knew that their social medias, like I would follow them, and they were like so like not positive, but just normal, like regular, just simple people. And then it started being like, I hate myself, I'm trash. And I was like, and that would be like the tweet I would see on the timeline, and I'm like,
yeah, you're actually,
what?
that's so true.
And then it was like, I'm the ugliest person in the world, someone help. And I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, well, okay, one thing to feel it, talk to somebody, you know, tell your friend you're feeling this is funny. And then another thing to constantly be like, that's what you put out. So of course you're going to feel like that. Of course it's going to go from a personality trait to something that's like genuinely a problem.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why when we listened to her, I was like, who the heck is this? This is not the same kind of person. So I hope at some point in the future that she can make space in her videos for that portion, because she has such a big audience of like Jadens, 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds. And so you hope that like there's space at some point for that to like creep in, because dude, when I listened to her, I was like, she's freaking brilliant.
Yeah, I know. She's so young.
I know.
Me at that age, nope.
How old is she? 19?
I think she's 19.
Yeah.
Can't relate. Cannot relate.
I don't even. At 19, I was not married yet either.
At 19, I thought I wanted to be married at 21. And then I was like, well, that was a joke.
Well, let's pause that one. Let's pause that. What other podcasts are you listening to? Or just, podcasts.
I listened to We Bought a House by Claudia and Phineas. Phineas is Billie Eilish's brother, for those of you who don't know, but I feel
Claudia
like
Salewski. She's an influencer, right?
Yeah, she's an influencer. She also does YouTube and Instagram. And then they just announced though that they're not gonna keep doing their podcast, and I'm devastated. But
I know I've listened to some of theirs too. I really like theirs.
Yeah,
theirs is entertainment, huh? Yeah.
And then I also listened to I Love You So Much with Kenzie Elizabeth. She's an influencer. She was a YouTuber first. Then she made her podcast. And then I used to listen to this podcast called Gals on the Go, and then I stopped listening to it because there was like some drama that happened, and I was just like, I'm not gonna
I want to simply listen.
Yeah, so I only listen to those right now. I used to listen to crime ones, and then we moved here and I stopped.
Cut it off.
But not even just because we moved here. I kind of stopped doing that when I was in Sydney, because I was like,
by yourself.
I would walk by myself in the night and stuff like that, and I was like, no.
Yeah. I did watch. I mean, I did listen to We Bought a House, once in a while, and then I would listen to one called Zayn and Heath Unfiltered. Dead. I can't believe I'm saying this. Um,
What?
I think it's so funny, but it's more like leisure listening. Like it's not. It's like when I put it on, I don't have to be paying attention to it
Mm-hmm.
because it's just like them telling stories and
Yeah.
talking about like current things that are happening or whatever it is. So it's like very much like you can chill out and not pay attention. Um, and then I used to listen to one called Killer Instinct, and it was a murder mystery one also, and it was really good. It's this girl, her name is Savannah, and she has a YouTube channel also, and but same thing. I had to stop listening to mystery stuff when I moved here because I've never lived in a house, like a standalone house. And so,
Like without your parents.
yeah, right. So I would only listen. I mean, we've only lived in apartments.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt the safest when we lived in West Hollywood, believe it or not, because we lived on the 11th floor. So it's like,
Your jail.
you're not coming in, you're not coming out. Stop. It's not a jail place, dude. Are you kidding me? We're going to put a picture of the apartments. Please tell Sam that this is not.
But it was just the door to the
jailhouse.
stairs.
Okay, so the door to the stairs looked like a jail place,
Literally
not the
looked like a
whole place. She just references my whole apartment as looking like a jail, but just the door to the staircase to the emergency exit reminded you of that.
That's how, and I was like, jail.
The disrespect. $3,000 jail. Yeah.
I was gonna say $3,000 to live in jail.
The door to the emergency staircase. Anyway, I always felt safest there because I was like 11 stories up. If you're coming in, I know you're coming in, and there's only way out, and I know how you're going to get out. And so I always felt like, and there were cameras in the hallways, and there were cameras in the elevator, and there were cameras everywhere, and I was just always felt really safe there. And then here, there's like nothing really is probably going to happen, but I just am like,
But outside looks like something will happen.
I'm like always listening at night. I'm like, Billy, what is that?
Same.
So I just knew I needed to stop watching it.
We'll text each other. Was that you?
Are you awake right now? Sam will text me. I'm going downstairs. Just a heads up, just so you know.
Or I'm going out the back door, so if you hear the noise, it's me.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, it would jack me up. I can listen to or I can watch one murder mystery, two
Is
girls.
it that girl that does the makeup?
Yeah.
I knew you were gonna say.
Yeah.
that.
So, but do you think how you get entertained has like affects you a lot?
Yes, so much.
So podcasts, that's what you listen to. I stopped listening to murder and mystery. Then YouTube. Who do you watch on YouTube? Do you watch YouTube or do you watch TV more?
I have subscriptions that I will catch up with,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not like I go through phases where I actively like look for YouTube videos to watch, and then phases where I just try to catch up on my subscription box. Otherwise, I just like I don't. I watch like lifestyle vloggers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't watch makeup artists anymore. Like sit down videos, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I watch more YouTube than I watch any other TV. Normally,
That's
like if I just
so-
had my own choice of entertainment, it would be YouTube.
But like what content?
So Sam thinks this is weird, but I watch my podcasts on video.
Yes, I do.
Sometimes. Normally I'll just prop my phone up and have it play and I'm not paying attention, but then if I come back and I can watch it on screen, I don't know why, I just love that. I love feeling like we're talking and I can see you and we're talking together. Like we're having a conversation and I'm in the conversation
What?
because I'm watching it on a video. Yeah, I don't know why. It's so weird. But a lot of people are like that. So I think you're weird because I know more people that watch podcasts than listen. But
I only know you and one other person.
really, I know a handful of people that
And I asked, what is the fascination like, with
That's
watching?
what it is.
It's I get so someone said, one person that I asked said it's like being able to see moments that you might miss just by hearing. And I was
That
like,
also.
okay, I guess.
Yeah, and then I had someone tell me that they feel like they're in the conversation with us too when they listen. I mean, when they watch. So I do podcasts.
So weird.
Makeup artists. I'll sporadically watch makeup artists, but I would watch like Like I've always liked Jaclyn Hill since like she was sitting in her kitchen and just YouTube wasn't a thing yet. And so I feel like she just has a special place in my heart that if she posts something, which she rarely posts, but if she does, I watch it because I'm like, okay, girl.
You like David
here for
Dobrik
you.
too, though.
Yeah, well, hang on. Let me get to
Isn't he
it.
part of the podcast?
Yeah, he has a podcast also. Oh yeah, he has one called Views. But he just like relaunched it, and his episodes are all over the place, dude. I'm not kidding.
Well, I've seen what, 2 or 1
Very
that
vlog
you.
style. One, and remember it cut.
Yeah,
And then it went to like another interview part without the guests, and then it cut again, and it wasn't.
Like, is this the same thing?
Yeah,
is this the same one?
Yeah, so it's weird, but I feel like you watch more of whatever he's in just because you're a fan of who he is.
Yeah.
Similar to like Emma Chamberlain, you'll listen to whatever it is.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you're just a fan of them.
Yeah.
So makeup artists though, I will watch like Jaclyn Hill sometimes, but I don't sit and watch YouTube tutorials like makeup tutorials anymore or whatever. Like that's not normally what I'm like. Oh, let me just sit down not getting ready. If I'm getting ready, I'll put a makeup tutorial on. I know it's so weird.
You know, no.
Okay.
I get that. I used to do that. But you know who is fun to watch even if you're not doing your makeup is Nikki tutorials.
Okay, I don't really like her.
What?
I know. I feel so bad because she's so good. She's
Listen,
so
I don't
talented.
even watch her for the makeup. I watch her because I think she's funny.
Dude, I can't.
Oh my god.
I don't know what it is, but I cannot.
Why?
And I feel so bad because, dude, she's incredible. I think she's one of the greatest makeup artists right now on the platform. If not, her up there with, you know who Mama Mitchell is?
No.
Oh, girl, don't get me started. But yeah, I know. I just can't. I think I've watched one of her videos recently. Like I tried to watch her when I was watching like Manny MUA, Jeffree Star,
I
like
cannot
all of them
with them.
But I haven't
cannot.
watched them in like 2 or 3 years. So I tried throwing her in my rotation and putting her in my sub box, but it just didn't happen. I just could not keep watching her, dude. I don't know why. I don't know if her voice just irritates me or like
it's probably
what it is.
that because I get annoyed with her voice too. But I think she's funny.
One video recently, and it was her team had taken another beauty guru's tutorial and like transcripted it. So she was reading the tutorial and had to guess who it was at the end of the video based on the routine and like the verbiage that they used. And I thought it was a really cool idea. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'm just gonna try. And then I was halfway through. I was like, I can't do this.
It's probably her voice. I only started watching because I watched when she did Lady Gaga's makeup and I was in shock that she did.
Oh, okay.
And then from there, I saw that she did like other famous people too. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And so I like watching those when it's like
I'll watch that.
Her and like a celebrity or something.
I feel like I'll watch that. I'll watch the videos that are like collaborative. So like Bretman Rock I love Bretman Rock. I think he's so funny. So like he's another, but I guess he's makeup, but I wouldn't consider him makeup. I feel like he's more like just overall entertainment.
Yeah. Comedy.
Yeah. So he did a video with like Shay Mitchell. Desi Perkins did a video with Beyonce's makeup artist. Patrick Ta is. He's another makeup artist. So like I'll watch those with pretty much anybody because I feel like it's really interesting. Like what's his name? Steve Barnes. Man, I think that's his name. I think I might be wrong. That's JLo's makeup artist.
Okay.
So this girl Tati did one with him. I'll watch all of those. Especially if they're like professional makeup artists because I feel like they always have something that they've been doing for like 30 years that nobody knows about. But yeah, that'll be makeup. And then just like basic entertainment, I'll watch David Dobrik. Even though I think he's in a scandal right now. Yeah. Which is like the first real one in a long time.
A real one?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know anything about him.
Yeah. So I'm not even going to get into it because we're not here for the tea, baby. So yeah, it's interesting. I'll watch him. I'll watch Bretman Rock. And then there's a family called, oh my gosh. Oh, I think her name is Jackie Perry, and she's married.
I've heard the name, but I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, so it's her husband, and they have 2 daughters, I think, or 3, something like that. And they're like a Christian family. They're really cool. I really like them. I also watch Desi Perkins. Do you know who Desi Perkins is? So I never watched her before. And then the day that I went, or I started my medication for IVF, her first video came out about their IVF journey.
And so you clicked.
And so I clicked, like literally it was crazy. I got home and I pulled my bag out, like because they give you a medication bag for every day. So I pulled my bag out for Billy to do shots for the very first time. And I turned the TV on and we were like getting settled in. And I remember seeing like first episode, like infertility. And I clicked it and watched it before like we had gotten settled. And I literally was like crying by the end of it. And I just felt so connected to her, dude. I felt so connected to her. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so crazy. So that day, and then after that, I've just been watching her.
Subscribe.
I'm like, subscribe, turn on the bell notification, everything. And I really liked her. But I used to watch a plethora of murder mystery stuff. You can ask Billy. Literally, that is all I would watch. Like, I got to a point where I wasn't watching any makeup. I wasn't, the only other video I would watch was David Dobrik, and it was because it was 4 minutes. But I literally would watch like hours of it.
You and your sister Mariah, I don't know.
And Lee.
Lee too?
Lee too.
Oh my god.
Dude, I would watch Kendall Ray. I watched Bailey Sarian. I watched Eleanor Neal. I watched, dude, just like a bunch of different girls.
See, I'm fine at the moment, and then when I go to lay down at night, that's all I think about.
No, see, I'm like, as it's happening, as I'm hearing the story, I'm like,
definitely not me.
like so nervous.
Like, I'm fine. I'm like, ooh, entertaining. And then literally I'm laying in bed and I'm like,
You're like,
I'm texting you. Was that you?
are you alive?
What was that noise?
Yeah, so I used to watch it all the time, but then I started to realize how much it would correlate and it would just jack me up with stuff. But I also noticed that when I was watching other YouTubers that were like lifestyle vloggers, and they were like, it was just so not real. Like none of it was real. I just couldn't stand it. And I just noticed it affected me too.
Yeah.
And it was just like not it. But I feel like there's a wave in YouTube that's like turning, and people are stopping with all that.
I wouldn't know. I don't get on YouTube enough to know that. And when I do get on YouTube, it's because I'm searching for like a music video or like a dance video or something, and that's it. And maybe that's like twice a week. Maybe.
Oh, see, dude, I have my YouTube app like every day.
No.
Yeah, because there's this girl. Her name is Amber Scholl. She started as like a DIY YouTuber, and then she started doing like vlogs, and she like popped off. I remember watching her for the first video I watched, and I'm sure this is a video that if you know who she is, it's probably one of the first videos I watched of her. But she turned her floors from like regular linoleum to marble flooring by herself.
Of course you would watch that.
Dude, this was like 4 years ago too, so marble was peaking, like the ultimate, the peak of marble. And I remember watching it, and I thought she was so cute, whatever. But then she got really trendy and then moved to LA. You ever find those YouTubers before they moved to LA? And then they moved to LA, and then it was just like, okay, bye. And then just like maybe this year, or I think quarantine just changed a lot of people, because now she's putting out videos like talking about all of that transition, going to LA, what that was like. She talks about self-deprecation too, like, and how she kind of got to that point. And how she kind of just like accepted that this was just like what made people laugh. And then it went from like just being like a bit to like how she thought about herself, but she didn't used to think about herself like that before. And just like all this stuff. And then she had episodes where she was talking about like surgeries and fillers, and how like that just added more to the problem for her. For her, it was like, she was totally fine with how she felt, but she was like, oh, I'm just going to make this better. Like, this is just going to be better. Like, it's just going to be an enhanced version of me. And then she started getting all this stuff done, and it was like getting worse and worse and worse. And then she like, it was just a whole thing. But all that to say, I think that there is a transition in like style of content as far as like what I've noticed, because I think people are realizing, dude, this is affecting, I can't keep up with this.
Yeah. It's not real.
Well, 2020 happened.
Yes.
And you can't keep up with what your life really isn't. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I think is really exciting, because like I just started watching her again, but I had to stop watching her because of how it was affecting me.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, dang.
Yeah. There's just a lot of YouTubers that it's not like this crazy deep, they're not like causing this deep wound in my soul, but I'm like, yeah, no, I don't feel good after I watch you.
Yeah.
So like, Nah.
I don't think I've ever had YouTubers like that. It's just that I just don't relate to them anymore. Or I don't know if I ever did, but I thought I did.
Yeah.
And then I just don't. But I do. I watch one channel like consistently and I wait for their videos, and their sisters, their names are Michelle and Aline. It's literally their channel. And I just stumbled upon them one day and I was like, ooh, like they just moved to New York City like last year.
I think I remember you showing me videos of them looking for apartments.
Yeah. So they just moved. They literally left the city when COVID happened, moved back to Montana with their family, and then they came back literally 2 days after we moved here. They flew back to the city too. So I don't know. Like right now, I'm like, oh, I can relate to them. Like they're 24 and 21 or 22.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, I like this right now. So, and it's not like they're real. Like they have their moments and stuff. But that's the only channel that I like really keep up with right now. But yeah.
Yeah, I think it has a lot to do with where you're at, but it can also, like we talked about, when there is enough influence there, it can shape a whole generation of people, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and that's probably what's even, like, for someone like Emma Chamberlain, that probably makes everything 10 times more, like, scary. To know that what you put out could shape an entire
to have that
personality
kind of
tree.
As one person.
That's a lot. It's a lot, dude.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I think when we were talking a few weeks ago about social media, that's why a big part of how I think was like, what am I putting out? Because like like what I was saying was like, you still want to be an empathetic human being, you know? I don't think it goes as far as like, oh, what you post as a picture, but in additional content when people are hearing from you and learning from you, and you don't even realize it, or you don't want to be that, but inevitably sometimes you just are. That's why it's like, when we create, we have to be empathetic, dude, because we are, whether or not we realize it, you're shaping someone, and even if you don't want to, even if you don't think you are, you know, you are affecting how someone sees or feels or thinks about themselves or other people or this or that. Because I can jack you up, dude. Are you a playlist girl?
Yes.
You have playlists? What kind?
I have playlists for like moods.
Same. Like vibes. What you're looking to vibe out on.
Or like,
tell me some of your playlist names.
They're not anything.
Do you have any names?
No.
No?
No. No, they're just literally.
How do you know what vibe it is then?
And I had the picture I have on it.
Oh. I'll tell you some of mine. Do you use Spotify or Apple Music?
Both.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're rich.
No, I don't have premium. Spotify premium. I use it for podcasts. I don't.
I use Spotify?
Spotify, but when I want like a chill playlist with no lyrics, I go to Spotify because it's easier to find and they have good playlists. Apple Music sucks.
I don't really like Apple Music. If it treats me like they don't know me. Spotify's like, I know you, girl. I got your back. Yeah, that's why I really like it. I have playlists. One of them is called Billy's definitely the playlister. He'll make one and then I'll add to it. Like he'll start it.
So this is collaborative.
Collaborative, always. He made me excuse me. He made me a playlist mixtape because nobody does mixtapes. He just made me a playlist and he sent it to me a few years ago. And then I sent one back to him and then he sent one back and he was like, it's called Back at You. So that one's from like 2018. So Back at You's from 2018. And then we started like last year just doing the whole year. So like we have a 2020 playlist, 2021 playlist. Just music that we like vibe out to together. We'll add to that playlist and then we want to vibe.
Like for the whole year?
Just like stuff we find. If it's music we already listened to, it doesn't go on there. But if it's something you find and you've never heard it or I've never heard it.
That's interesting.
Then we add it. Then I have one called 3 and Road Trip Vibes. I have one that's literally just called Happy. And the music is sporadic. It's random. But it just takes me back to something. Whether like a drive or a moment in my life. And so I have that one. I'm not even gonna read these songs to you. They're embarrassing.
It's okay. I have a whole playlist called. This is on Spotify. My Apple Music playlists are like just variations of different BTS playlists. Like, but the ones I have on Spotify were like they're from a long time ago. I have one called "Everything You Never Knew You Needed," and it's literally songs from like.
Wait, is it the 2000s music? Uh-huh. Okay, I remember that. I have that right here. I think I subscribed to it. Yeah, look. Everything You Never Knew You Needed.
Yeah, and then I have one that's throwbacks, but it's like middle school throwbacks.
I was gonna say this was Disney throwbacks.
Yeah, middle school throwbacks. Like, what's on there? TikTok, Kesha, Akon is on there.
I have a playlist called Jesus, where you just
when you're feeling holy.
When you listen to this music, Jesus instantly. Whoosh.
Yeah, that's when you.
No, and then I have a playlist called Smacked, and it's another playlist of like really intense worship music that just smacks you, dude.
And then I just have one that's workout.
I don't have any workout playlists.
I have also variations of those. I have one that's called Ultimate Pop, and it's like all my favorite pop songs from like 2000 and onward.
I have one called Tahoe, but Billy made this playlist on our drive to Lake Tahoe, and every song we listened to, he just added it to it. So now this playlist reminds me of our trip in Lake Tahoe.
Nice.
And yeah, we're very much music, like, weird.
I find something I like and listen to it until I die. Like,
I know. I know. Your playlist consists of BTS, Paramore, and Taylor Swift and Ariana. Billy has this playlist. I'm just jumping on his Spotify. It's called Songs for the Middle, which is so good. It's like, they're a bunch of worship songs, but it's like when you're stuck in the middle, you ain't got nowhere, you don't know where you're going, what you're doing. He's right there in the middle.
You know what you're doing with your life.
Yeah, I'm definitely.
Then I have chill BTS, hype BTS.
Oh my god.
Bad Bunny and BTS.
I have a Rat Pack one, which isn't rap. It's not just Rat Pack music, but it's that vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Love that one, dude. I just found this out. My record player can connect to your Bluetooth, and any song you play out of it will sound record produced.
Mine is not Bluetooth, but it's like the
auxiliary.
Yeah, but
yeah,
I have to get the
dongle. But does it do the same thing?
I've never tried it.
Dude, I was shook because there's so much music that I want to listen to with the record or vinyl sound. Because you know how it sounds. Yes. Yeah, to me that sounds different.
It sounds a lot different.
People tell me that they don't think it sounds different.
It sounds completely different. I have Taylor Swift's Folklore album on vinyl. It sounds like a completely different album.
Okay, yeah, same. Me too. Great. I'm glad we're on the same page. And so I listened to it and I was like, does this mean I never need to listen to vinyl again? I just hate that they're like 3 songs and then you have to
literally
flip.
Same. And the ones that are two.
Some of them are 1. The mini ones are literally 1 song. Yeah, I know that's not fun. And then we also started a hospital playlist.
You did?
Yes.
What is on there?
It looks like Billy's added just a bunch of random songs that are just Jesus songs, but I'll tell you which ones I think are going to be good for me. Okay.
WAP.
Ew, that's actually disgusting to think of when
you're
giving birth.
I hate that song.
Okay, no, but really,
I'm gonna get canceled for saying that.
No, Wonder by Bethel with Amanda Cook. I remember you showing me that song in like 2014. You know what song I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
Okay, that's gonna jack
I don't
me
remember
up.
showing you that song though.
You literally showed me the song and I wanted to do it so bad, and they were like, "It's just ad-libbing." And I was like,
"Okay, now I remember."
But yeah, Wonder's on there. Voice of God by Dante Bowe. Have you heard it?
I don't know the name, but I feel like maybe I might have heard it.
That's on my Smack playlist. That just... Whoosh. Dude, the lyrics on that song are just insane. Insane. Gratitude by Brandon Lake. That one's newer, and I just listened to it like a few weeks ago, and it's...
You guys know so many more
so good.
Like Jesus songs than I do now.
Well, I think it depends what you listen to.
Well, like I said...
Like on Spotify, if you listen to if I just go into any Christian artist, the suggested at the bottom is going to be more Christian music. It's not going to be anything else I listen to, because what I'm currently listening to, that genre.
No, I'm just saying, like, in general, I only know. Like,
I know, because you don't you don't really regularly listen to
Mm.
worship music, do you?
I listen, but what I do listen to is the same all the time.
Oh, so it's like what you've had.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Because I'm like, ooh, I like this.
I can't, dude. I get so tired of some songs.
Like,
there's other songs on here that are great, but I'm like, this is not going to do anything for me.
that's
which is
so interesting.
Bad privately, but that's like privately. If we're in church, I'll sing "How Great Is Our God" because He is great. Period.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, so we have a hospital playlist, so we'll see. We're gonna have to clean this thing up though, because there's a lot of songs out here.
What have you added to it? Like, what are your picks?
Those ones, like 3 or 4.
How many are on there?
Like 30.
How many hours is it?
Let's see, 4 hours and 58 minutes. It's really not that long. For
Yeah, I was gonna say you gotta.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna need way. I'm gonna need like
way more.
No, I rebuke it. I'm gonna need 2 hours and that's it.
Okay.
Just kidding. Yeah, so we're definitely like playlist people, because I used to listen to in high school Lil Wayne. That was my guy.
I remember. I couldn't understand
That was my guy,
I
dude.
couldn't understand.
But let me tell you this story, dude. I got in so much trouble because growing up, we were very restricted on our entertainment ability, or like what we were allowed to be entertained by. You as well. We'll get there. We'll get to your confession. But I'll tell you mine first.
Oh, we're doing that.
So these were just things that my parents didn't let us do. And my mom kind of softened up as we got into the culture of our newer church, the church that we were at, Destiny. Because more of the conversation was like, okay, yes, this can shape and affect your child, but it only if it's the only thing that they're focused on.
Mm-hmm.
Only if this voice is stronger than the other voices. So it turned around later, but it took a second, because when we first started, we weren't allowed to listen to the regular radio, like 92.7 if you're in the desert, 97.7, 80,
97.7.
100.5. None of those stations were on any of our dials. We weren't allowed to listen to them. I remember when That's So Raven came out, was not allowed to watch That's So Raven because she was a psychic, and psychics were like witchcraft and stuff.
Satan.
So wasn't allowed to watch that. Wasn't allowed to watch like Harry Potter for a really long time. This was all like middle school. Wasn't allowed to do any of that stuff. Secular music was not a thing. All I could listen to was like, Christian music or Air One, or what is it called now? K-Love?
I don't know.
Yeah, well, I think it's called K-Love now.
They combined. Caleb used to be separate.
I have no clue. I couldn't tell you.
Me neither.
But now, that was all we were allowed to listen to. So I knew who like Reliant K was, and Tree 63 or Tree 363 or
I have no idea.
I don't know. Yeah, all of these other bands, and it's crazy because that was in the era that like Christian like rock bands are coming out.
Christian rock. I was in it.
You were in it.
I was in it,
dude.
and then I transitioned to Paramore.
Yeah, and then Paramore snuck in somehow, and then that's it. Forget all these other concerts that we were going to.
We went to so many.
Dude. So many Christian concerts, which I feel so bad because our parents were so happy taking us to them.
Yeah,
thanks for the memes. But I remember we would always leave with like merch that was just so bad.
So bad.
So bad. And I think my freshman year of high school, or maybe 8th grade year, I got I won an iPod Touch.
I remember, and I was so jealous.
I won it because I sold car wash tickets, so you should get on your grind, girl.
I was so jealous.
Dude, I sold so many car wash tickets. I cannot even explain, because I wanted that iPod Touch so bad. First generation, first time they came out with one with the screen. I was like, this is it. And I got it, and my mom was like, let me set it up for you, whatever.
Let me put some tracks on it for you.
And then I learned LimeWire. And it was over, because I did not need my mom's approval to get any music onto my iPod anymore, because I figured out how to do it from LimeWire or whatever it was at the time. And then I learned how to convert YouTube videos to MP3s and save them like that. So then my iPod had everything, dude. Because as much as my parents wanted to keep me away from like secular music, I was still hearing it at school. I was hearing it at lunch because they would play.
Oh my gosh, I forgot they played music at lunch.
Yeah, they played music on lunch. Dances. I was in sports, so like I would hear what my friends were playing. Like even when we would warm up, my coach would play like whatever, like just like workout music, and it was like regular
worldly music.
Yeah, worldly music. Oh gosh, I hate that term. And yeah, I loaded a bunch of music on there, and that's when I had like really started liking Lil Wayne, and I knew every song. I mean, every lyric to every song on like Carter 2, Carter 3.
You were so into Lil Wayne, and I just couldn't understand.
Okay, I will say this: some of his music is lyrically really, really, really well done. You're just like, wow, that makes sense. Exactly what you're saying in a way that no normal human being would be able to come up to say it. So I will say that there is lyricism in it. Okay, don't get crazy. But my mom one day went to get my iPod in the morning because she wanted, and I left it at home, which was never a thing. And I guess she went in my room and she wanted to listen to it to like pray or whatever. And she turned it on.
No.
Dude. And yeah, the song 6 Foot 7 Foot by Lil Wayne was like on.
She wanted to pray with your iPod.
Yeah. And then it was like, excuse my charisma, vodka with the spritzer. And my mom like lost it, dude. She lost it. She picked me up from school and she gave me my headphones and said, "This is all you'll be keeping." And I was like,
wait, didn't you have a passcode on it? Was there passcodes?
my mom knew my passcode. I was not allowed to have something with the passcode she did not know. And then, yeah, I got in a lot of trouble. And then, time went on and, you got all your stuff back and everything started being a little bit more normal. And then I think my mom kind of realized, like, I can't keep you away from all of this stuff. So let's just talk about it instead of just trying to hide it in a corner like it doesn't exist. And, like, you won't be around it. And, because I think that was when we started to, like, explore this stuff and then realize, like, okay, this is good music, but so is, like, Voice of God by Dante Bowe. Like, that can have as much influence on me. And so when she kind of switched from it being just like, you can't, to, okay, whatever you're going to listen to, you're going to listen to. But in the mornings, this is what I suggest, Mija. Like, this is what you should start your day listening to. And then whatever you're going to listen to the rest of the day, whatever gets you excited, whatever gets you prepped for a swim meet, whatever, like, gets you hyped, then listen to. But, like, this might be a better idea for your morning. And I was like, okay. Which, that is more like, let's shape you, not like, let me carve your life for you, And then I got out of high school and I kept listening to Lil Wayne, dude, for, like, years. But then I realized his music started making me angry. Like, when I would listen to his music, I would feel like all like worked up and like like I was ready to fight.
Dad.
Yeah, dude. And I remember like just getting real, like starting to feel different when I would listen to his music. And so I started to phase him out of my playlist. But I think I'm also just like really emotionally sensitive to a lot of like entertainment.
Yeah.
So I knew, like, whatever I'm listening to all day, whatever I'm paying attention to all day, whatever I'm logging on to look at all day, that is more important than anything else.
Yeah.
Because it's taking what's most important in my life, and that's time. So, yeah, I had to, like, phase that out and not listen to that as much because it just jacked me up, dude. But that was how I got in trouble.
I don't know if you ever told me that. I feel like maybe you did. I didn't know she got your... To pray is that sending me. She got your iPod to pray and turned it on.
6 Foot 7 Foot by Lil Wayne. I remember who I learned who Lil Wayne was from. My cousin Bianca. And my cousin Mikey. He was older. He was like a little bit older than Mariah, my older sister. And he used to drive this big old like old Suburban. And it was like white. And he had like put subs in it. It was like really cool. Gosh. And I remember
he was bumping it in there.
He pulled up to his driveway and he was playing a Millie. Remember?
Yes.
And it was like banging, dude. Like, and if you know that song, the beat on that song smacks, dude.
What is this?
Dude, and I remember sitting in this car and being like, boom, 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 boom. And I was like, oh, I've never felt this before. And dude, I was like, I love this. What is this? And then that's when I started listening to Nicki Minaj, Lil Wayne, Drake, like all these other artists.
Oh my gosh.
All at once, just flooded. Yeah, dude, and it just totally changed what I listened to. Because I used to, before him, I would like sneak listening to like So Sad, like Frank Sinatra. I would listen to like old R&B, like Chris Brown, like just like, but not he wasn't like intense yet. He was singing,
Yeah.
oh, cute. But then I found them and my mom was like, what the heck?
Yeah, I snuck too. I had an MP3 player.
I remember that. I will never forget that black MP3
with
player.
the blue light.
Dude. Insert photo if you have one.
I don't even know what it's called.
I couldn't tell you.
I snuck.
But that thing lived with you.
Yeah, because it had the radio on it. I didn't have any songs that I downloaded because
You weren't allowed to.
I wasn't allowed to, but also I knew that if I tried to get LimeWire on our only computer, I would
Oh my gosh.
get caught.
Done.
So I would go on the radio and turn little circle thing.
Spiral till you found your
97.7.
Oh
Switch
my
97.7,
gosh.
92.7.
Dude.
So I would sneak and listen to the radio all the time.
When did your parents like accept that you were gonna listen to like Paramore? Because that was like early. That was like eighth or ninth grade?
Ninth grade. I started like kind of hearing. I heard the first time I heard Paramore was in 8th grade at a talent show, and I went home and I went on AskJeeves.com.
Ask Jeeves.
AskJeeves.com, and I typed in all the lyrics I remembered.
You're like, whatever meant to say, but I got it. What if now?
I was like, it's like
You're
hard.
a whore and nothing more. I'm sorry, that will never change. And Jeeves is like, excuse me?
Literally long. I was
Oh my gosh.
And then that's when it went downhill. And then they finally accepted it. Like maybe.
Did your
like,
mom have to listen to your music before you listened to it?
I don't remember that because I wasn't allowed to listen to anything else. So it was all Christian
When you
music.
started listening to Paramore, did she listened to it first
Not first, but she started listening to it
as well? Okay.
Not because she wanted to, obviously. And then I think they finally accepted it like maybe like a year later when my room was covered.
I remember that. I think I have a picture.
Paramore pictures. And then they would not let me go to a concert. Oh my gosh.
For
2 years of me like liking them. Because I liked them like the end of 8th grade, all of 9th grade. And then we finally went when I was a sophomore.
Yeah, I remember that.
And that I like was freaking out. I was crying.
I remember, bro.
I was a sophomore in high school and I finally got to go see. They came with us. Randy came too, and they came with us, and they were quaking because there was alcohol there. Remember, people had like beer.
And then was that the concert where Tegan and Sarah opened?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh! And I remember they were flabbergasted. They were like, "Days? What? What?"
It was an experience, yeah. And then after that, I was like really into like punk rock, whatever. But I feel like it was like,
I feel like you only listened to
I
Paramore.
listened to Paramore. I listened to Flyleaf. I listened to
Evanescence.
No, I never listened to them. I listened to the bands that opened up for Paramore. I liked too. So then I ended up listening to their music.
Yeah, who opened up for Paramore in Fullerton? Or was it Fullerton?
I don't even remember, but I remember that I listened to a band called Kitten. I don't listen to them anymore.
I remember them. I didn't like them.
I only like one of their albums because I went literally like 2 days ago and went and listened to their music again, and their new stuff I was like, I don't know, I don't really like this anymore, but
yeah,
I still like their album that I
liked at that time. Yeah.
So Kitten and oh my god, is it Hello Goodbye? Is that the name of the band or is that a song?
That sounds extremely familiar.
But they were like not rock. I don't know what they were.
I think the first concert I went to was the real concert that I wanted to go to was at this little tiny like bar restaurant. Excuse me, when I was like 13, and it was the Jonas Brothers before they were famous.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You were in love with the Jonas Brothers. In love.
It was a problem.
In love.
I was in love. I think that's the only time I've ever been like.
She literally thought she was gonna marry. Who was it, Nick?
Yeah, absolutely. Say I don't have a chance. I'm pregnant, 6 years married, but he's married with a big old family.
Literally me to BTS. Now.
Dude, I'm like, try. But I was also like 13.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah, I was very obsessed with them. And then the next concert I went to was Paramore. I think we went to 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I didn't go to concerts for like a long time because my mom would not let me go to like rap or R&B concerts or like anything like that.
I only went to Paramore for like a good like 5 or 6 years. Like I think I went to like 10 Paramore shows.
What?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's insane. Yeah, and then I stopped going. I just stopped going to concerts. I went to Coachella in my senior year of high school, and then like did festivals and stuff. But I don't know. I think my parents let me go to Coachella because they were working Coachella.
Okay.
So they were like okay with it. But that was when they had kind of loosened up.
Yeah, your parents did a lot.
Because before though, like when I was in middle school, my mom would have to watch movies before I watched them. She would listen to music before I listened to them. I remember having a phone, and this was remember that tiny phone I had that was like
The
this
silver
big?
one?
Yes.
The one that looked like
a play phone?
Yes.
Yeah. And I always turned my ringer off around my mom because
Yep. Oh my gosh, I remember.
yeah, I had my
that.
phone taken away one time too because I think Pop Lock and Drop It came on as a ringtone.
I forgot about that song. I want to listen to it now.
So that was interesting. And then I started going to concerts. Billy and I did when we started dating and got married. We went to see.
I remember that.
What?
Like you guys going to concerts together.
Yeah, I think my favorite one that we've been to was Leon Bridges, and John Mayer came out. And it was,
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting I saw John Mayer live, and that was on my bucket list.
dude, I know.
I was like, my jaw was on the ground the entire
Leon Bridges was definitely on my
time.
bucket list. Chance the Rapper's on my bucket list, and what's so frustrating is Billy surprised me for my birthday in 2019 with concert tickets to see him.
Was it for 2020?
For 2020.
Good.
And the concert was March 18th, and we went into lockdown on March 16th. And they
I would be
moved it,
sobbing,
dude. And he got such good seats, like everything. I was so ready, dude. I love Chance the Rapper. Now he's definitely like one of the artists I listen to all the time. He just came out with a song called like Heart versus Tongue, or Tongue versus Heart, or Tongue and Heart, or something like that. Lyrically beautiful, dude. Like freaking brilliant. And I remember it just kept getting pushed back further and further until it just got canceled. Yep. I was so devastated. But Leon Bridges was incredible. He had a band open for him. Was it Karugabin? I think it's called Karugabin. But it's just sounds.
Okay.
Just sounds. So they like vibe out literally, and it's not like organs and like all this. It's a bass, an electric, brush drums, and then this vocalist, and she doesn't sing like words. She just sings sounds. It's like it's spelled KH Karugabin. I'm gonna have to show it to you, dude. And I remember like watching it, being like, "What the hell is this, dude?" Because they're like moving, and they're like, "Hello." But dude, I'm telling you, I don't know how. Somehow vibey. So vibey.
You were like, I stand.
Yeah. So it was really cool. But yeah, I remember like my music taste just like kind of evolving. And then I started kind of thinking, as I was filtering music, it was like, okay, what's really good? And what's just like generic? And it's like, oh, it makes me feel good, happy. You'll go on my happy playlist. But then there's other stuff that's like, no, I actually want like substance.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So I'm sure who else is on your bucket list other than BTS to watch in concert?
Ariana. And I cried. I cried in my living room watching the Coachella live stream. Was it from 2019?
For who?
Ariana.
Oh, yes. I was there.
Billy.
I was not there for Billy. Wait, they were separate, right?
Yeah, they were separate, but it was like the same weekend or whatever.
Wait, it was the same
year? They were the same year, yeah.
Okay, no, I missed that year.
Because she went and Billy watched Ariana's.
I saw Beyonce and I saw Cardi B at Coachella.
I was actually crying in my living room in Sydney,
How
Australia.
how does it bring you to tears?
Because I was not there. I was just like shocked that she was in our town.
Okay.
Like that is a whole nother thing. Like I just
Yeah.
am shook that Coachella is where we live. Like
I was just watching a YouTuber today and she was like, I moved to Palm Springs, and I was like,
yeah, I get shocked about that too. I don't understand. But like that people come to that place for that, like,
yeah.
and so seeing artists like as big as they are there, it makes me
So
like
you had tears.
I was like crying because I wasn't there.
Because I've never understood that, but I know a lot of people that are like, no, I was actually crying, and I'm like, how do you get brought
Like,
to tears
I had
by
like tears because I was like, I'm not there, and I knew like I could have been there,
Okay.
and I was like sad that I was missing out.
Yeah.
Not like
major FOMO.
Yeah,
Like
not
deep.
not like, oh my gosh, I love Ariana so much. I'm
Okay,
crying.
that's what I
not
thought.
like that. I was crying because I wasn't there, and I was watching it, and I was like, everybody there in my town.
They were yeah, both of their performances were ridiculous.
I know, and I was like,
I think that was the first year I didn't work, and I was so mad because I saw the lineup and I wasn't working.
yeah, the one year I worked, I saw Lorde and Lana Del Rey, and
That's great.
in
That's
my
a
mind
huge-
forever.
Well, dude, even
Like-
seeing Lorde.
Yes, I know. Where is she?
Dude, please. This podcast I was watching, I have to say this, and then we're gonna wrap up soon. But this podcast I was watching, they asked the guy like, oh my god. Okay, so there was a guest there, and then one of the co-hosts, and the guest was like, "Who's on your bucket list to like watch live?" And he was like, "Lord." She like, "God." And I was like, if that's not our evangelical parents, you're like, you want to see God? Trust me, he's at the end of your bucket list, baby. No matter if you want it or not, he's there.
Oh my
I
gosh,
thought it was
that's so funny.
Yeah, dude. As I've worked Coachella, I saw Post Malone at Coachella.
Oh my gosh.
I saw Marshmello at Coachella. I saw David Guetta at Coachella.
Oh my god, I hate you.
I saw Florence and the Machine at Coachella. Florence and the Machine though I saw when I attended one year. I saw Mumford & Sons at Coachella. Dude,
Oh my gosh.
festivals are the way to do it.
Yeah.
The way to do it.
Yeah, I saw Lord, Lana, Churches, oh my gosh, who else? Calvin Harris.
I've seen Calvin Harris.
And I think a few other ones I literally cannot remember. It's like so long
Well,
ago.
just the lineups are so big.
I know. And working, it's like you basically, it depends where you work though.
Mm-hmm.
Is basically like you get to go for free.
Yeah.
And you get paid.
Paid to
Yeah.
be there. Yeah, I mean, we haven't gone in forever. We were planning to go to Coachella for Billy's like 30th birthday because
Which was last year.
yeah, 2020. When we first started talking, I don't even think, or maybe dating, or maybe we were broken up, even more awkward. We ended up at Coachella at the same time.
Ooh.
And I remember watching somebody, couldn't even tell you who, I was so distracted, traumatized. And yeah, so we were like, we're gonna go as like a 30, this is it, because festivals are just too long for me now, dude. I'm like, I'm not about it. And I feel like the environment's just so intense at festivals sometimes. So we were like, we're gonna do 30th, but we're gonna do it right. We're gonna do like all of it. We're gonna rent somewhere to stay. We're not gonna stay with family. We're gonna like put our outfits together, like everything, dude. I had one of our friends was designing outfits
I
for
know,
us
you
that was in the
told
desert.
me.
Like everything was so sick. I was so pumped, dude.
Canceled.
Cancel.
Life got canceled.
And it was just another thing. Like what's important. So we ended up, I don't know, probably buying In and Out and sitting at the beach together.
Devastated.
First 30th. But yeah, we had a bunch of stuff planned. So yeah, that was a bunch of different artists. I just clearly remember being so like sheltered
Oh, same.
and then deeply affected when I realized what music could actually do to you. If you're like really a music person.
Yeah.
Some people can listen to whatever and it doesn't matter. Doesn't affect their mood, doesn't affect how they feel, which I don't know how.
Yeah.
But whenever I listen to anything, it affects immediately
Same.
what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, like all of that stuff. It's real, dude. It's real out here. We have to next episode. We're gonna talk more entertainment. This episode was kind of themed like entertainment. We were talking about what we like, what we listen to.
Growing up sheltered.
Growing up sheltered, but it's true. It is true. It affects you, but we have to like let everyone around us learn that it affects them themselves.
Yeah.
'Cause
But I
I
think you have
think-
to understand it first too.
Yeah.
Like, for yourself.
Because I think my parents wanted me to never have to be affected by this stuff or never changed or like shaped by anything else. But when they finally did let me like listen and make my own boundaries was when like I started to learn, oh, this is important. Like it actually counts what I listen to. Like it affects what I don't and all that stuff like that. But I do know a lot of Christians that don't listen or don't engage in anything that isn't like fueling to their soul.
That's my parents are like that.
Which for some people that has to be how it is because they're so deeply affected by it, which I think we have to respect.
Yeah.
It has to be well respected. Like if you feel or you need the discipline to say like, I'm not going to watch rated R movies. I'm not going to listen to anything that isn't like produced by Christian artists. I'm not going to watch anything that isn't this. And that aids you in your walk with Jesus, then that has to be, I think there's also a space where like if you are like that, you're looked at like you're really weird. And there's almost like that we're so progressive that there's no room for people that aren't. Not specifically us, but just in general, like if you are like that, then you're weird, or you're like you need to relax or chill out, instead of just being like, okay, well, just like I want you to respect that I listen to stuff that may not fall in those confines, I have to respect that you are much more like comforted in that space or whatever it is. Because we had a lot of times where we were the opposite.
100%.
Yeah.
Next week is a pretty good confession week. Next week we'll probably keep talking about this topic. We're just gonna add some of the other entertainment categories,
more sheltered categories.
More sheltered categories. We hope you guys enjoyed this episode. What, number 5? I think number
something
5.
like that.
We will see you guys next week.
Yes, feel free to send any.
Send in your
us.
DM and confessions if you were also sheltered.
Yes, we want to hear stories.
We want to hear your stories.
What were you not allowed or allowed to engage in
growing up in church, or even if you weren't growing up in church and your parents just didn't let you do stuff?
Yeah, there are strict parents that aren't Christians.
Tell us so we don't feel alone.
We don't feel traumatized by ourselves.
So I guess we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.